Hey y'all, welcome back to ARK Survival Evolved Mobile. Got another episode for you here today. This one's going to be about power leveling past, hopefully, level 90. We'll see how far we get. And you might be wondering, where are you standing, Fun Size? Well, that is a good question. It seems we've discovered some sort of beach bob who is not aware that he is on a PvP server or something. Because he's built this weird circular thing and logged off under his base. Doesn't have anything I need, so not worth the effort. Unlikely anything good is in the box. But look at all this effort that went into this thing. Tamed a parasaur. Poor guy. Alright, so what we're going to do to start off this episode is get ourselves a Bronto really quickly, because I don't feel like hand farming the stims I need for stimulants. We're going to be running Swamp Cave today, and you need stimulants. Don't care what armor you're running. If you're doing it on foot, stimulants are a must. So, I'm going to get one of these Brontos here, or whichever one's the highest level I can find, and I'll get right back to you. And down it goes. It didn't take nearly as many arrows as I was anticipating, actually. And because I'm paranoid, I'll take this opportunity to kill all dragonflies in the area. Alright, let's get this thing taming. I'm not going to starve it or anything like that. I don't really care what level it gets either. So we're just going to throw our bomb in here that we got from the developer birthday event. Remote use that, and toss our Medjos in. That should do it. No problem. Yeah, they do 5% each, so I'm going to need a few more. Alright, while we wait for the Bronto to tame, I'm going to start collecting some flint, as I'm going to need a lot of spark powder to make these stimulants. And last bite, and there we go. Go to whistles. First thing we're going to do is slap that on neutral and follow. We're going to pull it a little closer to our base, not too close. Brontos are another nice one to have wandering because, let's face it, who takes time out of their day to kill a Bronto unless they're on a meat run? Which, you know, I am at the foot of the volcano, so it's possible someone's going to come through here on a Giga. But he'll do us fine for now. It's not that difficult to tame another one if I need one. He will give us enough narcotics to last probably till we're ready to leave this server. What we're going to try to do is get some blueprints up, get some levels up, and when we're just about ready, we're going to go on some raiding and then take off. Alright, so I'm going to leave this guy here among the trees and go get a saddle for him. Alright, we're just going to get some spark powder crafting up for our stimulants, and then I've got to go get some more metal going. So let's start that. Crafted up one of our picks. And so I'm going to head up the mountain a little bit and we'll get some metal. Alright, pop the metal in here. Half and half. And let's see how much spark powder we have. Lovely. And then I'm just going to wait briefly for morning to come. And I will get this going. Ah, sunrise on the ARK. Truly a lovely time, especially when you're dying of dehydration. And thank you, War Drum, for adding in crouch and prone. The forges are lit, and the trap is set. See if anyone stops by. If not, well, we get some metal out of the deal. Alright, we should have just about enough metal now for what we need for the Bronto Saddle. So I'm just going to head down there and see what happens. Hopefully nobody ambushes me. Another reason I always like to keep trank arrows out is because it introduces a fear factor. Someone gets PvPing with you, they expect you to pull a bow, but when they get hit and they immediately start taking torpor damage, Screen flashes purple, and it introduces that whole panic element, which makes them much more likely to flee than to stay and fight. And anytime you break the enemy's spirit and they're on the run, is a time you've already won. Then the job is just to make sure they can't get away from you. Alright, here we go. Let's see if I got enough ingot for this. So, no, not quite enough, and I need a hair more hide, 10 more hide, and 4 more ingot. So I'll grab that right quickly. Alright, and we've got enough for our Bronto Saddle here, so I'll just whip that up. Alright, and take that. And we'll get going over to our Bronto. Stimberry time. Alright, he's saddled up. I'm just going to hop on. The Bronto especially, you want to make sure you spend as little time as possible on its back with the saddle, because it can be spotted from a distance that it's saddled really easily. So get your berries, get off, and get that saddle off. If you want to store the saddle inside of it, go ahead. There's always the risk of losing it. You know that, I know that, but you can go for it if you need to. And of course, operating in trees will draw more attention, but I'm in a rush, so. And I'm going to pump solely HP on him because I want him to live a long, healthy, and prosperous life. And we'll just nab these, and leaving everything else on him. We're going to take off. And yeah, I'm going to leave the saddle on. Alright, let's head back and get some stimulants made up. And a detour to kill a Rex. And back on our way. Alright, coming back up on base. Always be a little leery when you've left the forges on. Someone could be camping in or around. Alright, once I'm inside I'm pretty much safe as long as I don't let myself get ambushed in here, because I'm carrying a club and I have enough melee to pretty much knock out anybody. Alright, let's throw our extra flint and spark powder in here. Craft up the rest of that. Put that in there. That in there. Let's get some stimulants going. Some narcotics going. Once we get these stimulants, we're going to be running over to Swamp Cave. I'm going to be doing Swamp Cave. I don't have ghillie, I don't have scuba, and I don't have a gas mask, but that's alright. We can do this with a special item we buy in the store. We're going to cover a couple more of those right now. So, the first one is going to be Thick Skin right here. With Thick Skin, you can tough out the worst environment conditions. This buff gives you skin thick enough to weather sub-zero temperatures, intense heat waves, and even noxious fumes for 24 entire hours. When I first started playing ARK, I pretty much scoffed at this. I thought, what's the point? It's just the environment, but this is actually really, really handy. I almost always have this when I'm running Tribe. I almost always have this going. Because it lasts 24 hours, you only need 15 amber a day. That's pretty easy to get with ads, so that's almost running all the time for me. Thick Skin's great. Keep it in mind, especially for Swamp Cave, gas masks are not the way to go. You get better visibility with Thick Skin anyway. Second one is Intense Focus here. This one is incredibly useful. Only lasts 1 hour, but it gives you a 3 times experience boost on top of whatever you have. Now, the way this stacks is, let's say I have a 2 times going because I'm either a normal player who's just watched an ad, or I'm a Primal Pass holder. So I've got 2 times going XP. I get an Intense Focus, that buffs it to 5 times. Now, Explorer notes do not stack, so if I get an Explorer note, it does not become 7 times, it actually multiplies. It would become 10 times. So that's 2 times plus 3 times times 2, 10 times. So that's getting 10 times XP just on the Intense Focus and the note. Now if you add a broth to that, you're getting another boost, and that's another thing entirely. I don't have the time or desire to make a Broth of Enlightenment right now. Just not in the mood. So I'm going to do an Intense Focus and a Thick Skin. It's going to cost me 50 amber. I was getting on all throughout the day just to watch ads every 15 minutes so I can get that amber up. And I finally got enough shortly before getting on here. So let me just check here. Alright, we'll leave this to craft. I'm going to nab these stimulants. I'm going to run back up to the smithy, drop off this stuff, and we will get going over to Swamp Cave. We're going to try this on foot. Alright, so while we're waiting for the Argentavis to be requested here so I can fly over to Swamp Cave, I figured I should cover something else I've noticed the last couple of days. This is just a hiccup that I didn't necessarily foresee when I started living out of these things permanently. And that is when you're double stacking foundations and you spawn on top of one. No, I guess I've lost consciousness because I'm thirsty. Anyway, I can keep talking. So, if you are double stacking foundations and you spawn on top of one, you do not reset the decay timer of the bottom one. So, your entire shack, which is sitting on that bottom foundation, will fall apart the minute that decays, and it will decay. So, you have to make sure when you log on, you find a way of going around the shack and finding a way of getting both foundations to reset to 6 and or 7 days, depending on what your timer's at that point. So make sure you reset on both foundations, because as you look at the map, I've now lost 3 shacks to that. They all just went poof all at the same time. It was quite a surprise. Looked in the tribe log. Oh, they decayed. I mean, I'm glad nobody found me. I'm glad nobody attacked me. That's great. But this is something you really need to think of and look for. Especially the more beds you have. When you log off every night, you should do a circuit of all your beds, spawn at each one, check all the foundations if you want to keep them. Because as you can see, my 5 beds are now 2, and that doesn't hurt me that much. I'm really enjoying having this as my central location, but I need to move soon because it's becoming conspicuous, and it's only a matter of time before somebody decides to raid it and realizes it's not decaying. So I figured I'd share that with you. The Argentavis should be coming around anytime now, but keep an eye on that second foundation, folks. On our way to Swamp Cave, and I figured I'd show you how we deal with alpha raptors around here. That's right, we chew them to pieces. Alright, we'll get on our way again. Alright, because Redwoods is a dangerous place, I'm going to snap the saddle off this guy, leave it in his inventory. And I'm not going to put him on Wander, just because I have no idea where there are turrets around here. Tree platforms can be iffy things. So we're just going to run down here. And Swamp Cave is right around the corner. Right here. Yeah, I guess on a server this jam-packed it would be difficult to hold a cave like this. Like if you were to put turrets up around here, you wouldn't be able to hold it. So Swamp Cave is free. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pop toward the entrance here. And we're going to get some boosts going. I accidentally went in the entrance. It's a bummer. Okay. Buff now for 15 amber. I now have thick skin. And we're going to buff this and get going. Hopefully we don't get in there and realize that it's totally overpowering for us. Beware, this cavern is quite dangerous at your level. No joke. 101, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking 120 is going to be the maximum I see in here, so I should be set as long as I don't get mobbed. And as long as I keep heavy on the stim usage. Kill them all. Scorpions are the biggest issue because they just have so much more HP than the spiders. Neat. So I can do this. Now that should just have meat. Awesome. They introduced filters and I'm in love. The key to remember with spider and scorpion bites is that torpor goes out very slowly, so you might get mobbed and be fine and run on to the next mob and not realize that you're actually about to pass out. So keep that in mind when running this. Just be mindful of your torpor, that it is going up even when you're not in battle. It's actually a nice stego saddle. Well, I think. Meanie. Dropped on me from the ceiling. And it's a 34 stego saddle. Alright, we're going to level up quickly. Throw that in HP. Remember, make these explorer notes last, so when you get them, get killing. So I'm going to take a detour through this little hole here. A lot of people like to use Carno Island to level up like this. I find there's just a lot more density of nasties in here, and they respawn a lot faster. So in general, I prefer this to Carno, even though a lot more things can go wrong. Plus, when running this, you can grab the artifact at the end, which is nice. Grab that, that's great. That's going to give us some, hopefully, really good loot when we tribute it. Not necessarily something we can use, just because it's probably going to be Riot blueprints, but trade is always an option. Alright, we're going to take an alternate route out so I can grab an Explorer note on the way, and we will be set. Alright, and we are coming out of the cave. I want y'all to witness how much XP I get when I walk out this door. 40,000 times 12. Okay, so let's see what happened here. 16 levels. So I was at 67 and I got 16 levels out of that just because I had boosts going. Don't discount this, guys. This is the biggest boost you will get anywhere. That's level 83, just like that. Now I still have some Explorer note going, so I'm going to run back in and kill some more stuff. Alright, and we're clear again. So let's just head up here to our Argentavis. Glad I've been leveling weight on him. I forgot to throw down my sleeping bags before leaving for the cave. That's kind of humorous. Thankfully no mishaps. Alright, we should be set here. Let's throw the saddle on him. Now, I'm rather close to Red Obelisk, so I think I'll fly over there for tribute even though it's farther from home. And I'll show y'all what I get. Alright, coming up on Red Obelisk. Hopefully nobody's turreted it. Looks clear to me. There were a couple Bob bases back there, so odds are we're fine. Smashed Bob bases, mind you, but still. Remember, start the tribute pursuit. And it wants me to target the terminal. Pull it up. And hit tribute. Remember, keep looking at the thing as it does this whole animation. And pursuit complete. Alright, I am actually really happy with that. We just got 25 potent dust. That I will explain in a second. Let's first look at these. Okay, we've got some meh apprentice riot leggings and ew. That's not worth the cost of the materials. Okay, now this potent dust is basically ground up ancient amber. One ancient amber, put it in the mortar and pestle, grind it up, gives you 2 dust. Dust can be used to level yourself up. That's really a lame use of it. Don't use it for that. It can be used if you dye it, to dye your skin by inhaling it. That takes a long time. Again, I would not recommend it. You can dye your dinosaurs. This I would recommend only if you are hatching and breeding them, because you can dye babies way faster, like with 1 or 2 dust, whereas adults might take that full 25 to 30. So, dyeing babies is helpful if you're dyeing them camouflage colors. I know a lot of people like to do pink, red, blue, really amazing colors, which are wonderful, but I would not personally do for PvP. If I'm going to do it, if it's a flyer, it's going to be sky colored or grass colored, and if it's a ground-based dino, it's going to be mud colored or grass colored again. So you want to make sure you're thinking stealthy. As much as this is a beautiful game and you want to take advantage of all of the aesthetics it offers, think stealthy first. You will be happier when that dinosaur doesn't get killed because it happened to be missed because it blended into the terrain when you get raided. Something along those lines. So keep that in mind. Play stealthy, not pretty, as much as you may want to. So, I'm happy we got that also because it can be used in a recipe called a Nirvana Tonic. Now, y'all all know what the Mind Wipe Tonic is, I assume, which is something that just resets all your engrams and all that. But the Nirvana Tonic is a mobile version of that, which literally wipes you back to level 1. However, it wipes you back to level 1 and lets you keep all of your engram points. So it's a way for a solo player to, have to regrind it all, but to keep all of the engram points and to have a lot to invest. So it helps a solo player out because they can learn much more without being in a tribe. They don't have to mind wipe nearly as much for those points. So I would recommend this if you are solo, A. B, if you are on a easy or medium server where you can easily regain those levels and get them back. On a hard server or a brutal server, Nirvana is not worth the effort. Just wipe those extra mind wipes and save yourself some pain, because Nirvana does not reset any of the Explorer notes or any of the pursuits, so you've got to grind it up without those. So I'm going to Nirvana once I reach minimum level 90, probably more like level 95, then I'm going to Nirvana. Then I'm going to power level back up again using Yeti Cave, and then we're going to transfer over to a new PvP server. That'll be at the end of this season, so stay tuned. We're going to have a use for that dust eventually to make a Nirvana Tonic, and that's some ways to go. So I'm going to be running Swamp some more, running other caves some more. Hopefully we get there without too much effort. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode on power leveling. A little bit different, not something we normally do. Uh-oh. We've got some PvP. I have no idea what these guys are doing. I did not see a shoot. There we go, I heard a death. Let's go get this helmet. Where'd he fall? Where'd he fall? Come on. Where is he? Teach you for sending your terror after me. And killing my Argentavis. Not like that. Ooh, some good crossbows. Alright, let me go get my saddle. Yes, I'm an idiot for running back in there. Oh, shoot. That's not mine. That's not mine either. Where's mine? Yeah, it looks like we lost the saddle, but we got a Pteranodon saddle out of it, and full kit of flak, and some bows. I can't believe how noobish those guys were. And we got ourselves some shadow stakes, crossbows, primitive, ramshackle, ascendant, pike. Alright, I will take that. Some med brews, zip some of those, some parachutes, that's why he wasn't dying when I dropped him. That was actually my first real PvP since coming back from my 2-month-long hiatus. And man, did it feel good. I've gotten a lot better on the bolas. I threw a second one, didn't even need to. So, that went really well. Came out with way more kit than I went in with, and yeah, I don't mind taming another Argentavis. That one was with us for a little while, and It's sad that it's dead, but what can you do? So yeah, just when I thought I was going to finish up the episode, we got some unexpected PvP out of it. Gotta love ARK. No clue what those guys were doing there, but that is a perfect example of what I was telling you earlier. They had teal mammoth and teal argentavis. I was flying right by, I wouldn't have seen them, but the teal stuck out like a sore thumb. I turned around and they lost, well, they lost a Pteranodon and then he lost a kit. So keep that in mind, guys. It really does make a huge, huge difference. So I'm going to run back to base, and I think I'm going to store my stuff in a different location tonight. Just because if they've seen my shack before and thought nothing of it, now they've had a run-in with me, so they're bound to think something of it. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Power Leveling. Remember, use pursuits to your advantage. They are the biggest chunks of XP you will get on mobile. And I hope you enjoyed that little bit of PvP at the end. I know I certainly did. I've missed it so much. That's probably the thing I've missed most is PvP. So I'm doing all this for y'all so you can see exactly how this works and how Nomad really works, because I want you to be able to change how you start out on a server. It doesn't have to be this hour-long grind. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're learning something. I know I am still. I'm learning something every episode. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.